So, you want to be an it girl?
Coachella!
It's coming.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, babe.
All right, welcome back to Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl. Today
I'm your host, Hunter Podell.
Oh my God.
I'll behave, I promise. Go ahead.
I don't even fucking know what I was saying anymore. Welcome back. Today we're talking about Coachella. I thought we were having good riff, and we didn't.
Sorry.
All right, today is your bonus episode, and we are talking about Coachella.
Coachella, baby, it's back.
And we are both veterans.
I would say I'm a veteran. I would say Marley is an expert. Absolutely an expert. I mean, I've gone 3 times. 3 times. Not, nothing to snuff at, but
How many?
Marley here's gone 6 or 5. You went 2 years before? Yeah, 5 times.
5 times.
You went 5 times.
Yeah, this will be my
So you
6th.
are, as people who know Marley and who have gone to Coachella with Marley and who have stayed in an Airbnb at Coachella with Marley all know that she is referred to as the Coachella Fairy.
Okay, so today we're going to go over just like all the things we think you should know about Coachella. First off, let's just paint the picture if you've been living under a rock. Coachella is the biggest event in LA probably all year.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. It's definitely the biggest festival. It's nearby LA. It's just a couple hours east in Indio, not Palm Springs. Same thing, really. But it's definitely a big one. It draws the crowds, and this year should be pretty insane considering there was none the last 2 years because of COVID.
Right.
But, all things considered, all preconceived notions about it, it is really fun with or without a good lineup. That's the one thing about Coachella is you will just have fun there, even if the music is not quite your vibe.
Well, and let's just even talk about the weeks leading up to Coachella in LA are it's fucking nuts. Influencers have parties for Coachella outfits, for Coachella this, for Coachella that. The hype around it in LA is huge, not to mention that not that I know them personally, but a lot of people come internationally for Coachella too. We're not going to talk about the chaos that might cause, but we don't even care.
They're coming.
They're coming,
It is what
and we don't care. It is what it is. So
open it up, baby. Come on.
Yeah, it's just a really hyped event, and LA really just plays into every inch of it. So, yes, the lineup. Go ahead. You were saying it doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't matter. I mean, for myself personally, there's a couple others. I shouldn't shortchange the lineup this hard, but there's really only person that I'm yes, I want to see you, I want to go is Kanye. I need to see Kanye.
Controversial.
Yeah, I don't care. Last time I saw him, he was fucking incredible. We saw him together with Kids See Ghosts, Kid Cudi.
True.
R.I.P. They're not friends anymore.
Again.
Hate to see that. But
Isn't that the second time they're not friends?
it might be. You would know.
Yeah.
You would know better than me. But honestly, I'm not even sure he's going to play music at this show. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
All I know is I got to be there.
He should have a good relationship with them though, but he doesn't because of the Sunday service thing.
With Kid Cudi?
No, with Coachella.
Oh, with Coachella. No, I think his relationship with Coachella is fine.
Whatever. We're getting beyond the point. We don't need to digress into Kanye's relationship with Coachella.
Got to call Lauren's latest for that.
Yeah, check out Lauren's latest for that one. Okay, let's just give the lay of the land of Coachella. So everybody flies, drives, nobody boats. Trains, planes, and automobiles.
It's inland. Of course nobody boats.
To get to Coachella.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you the amount of... How many people attend Coachella? I have no fucking idea.
In 2019, I can't remember how many unique individuals attended, but the total count, if you added up the number of people on each specific day, was over, I think it was 90,000, 150,000, 120,000. So it's over 400,000 people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge event. So people just flock to India, which if you don't know is in Palm Springs or by Palm Springs.
And it's a tiny desert town, really pretty, really nice,
quiet,
slow, quiet. Nothing happens there except for the 2 weekends of Coachella. Well, and Stagecoach the weekend after, but that's look, if you're into country music, you're into that, you can be into that. From a straight chaos standpoint, it's less than half the people at Coachella. So the 2 weekends are the Coachella weekends.
Right. So we all flock to Indio. We all drive down there. We prefer to go down on Thursday night so that we're ready to go Friday morning once Coachella starts. So the lay of the land, everyone kind of gets there around Thursday, Friday. Some people fucking camp. We'll get into that. And we all show up in Indio and go to this music festival.
Camping is not for the faint of heart.
Okay, we'll get into that. So here's the thing a lot of people don't know about Coachella that always shocks first timers and blew my motherfucking socks off the first time I showed up is the goddamn walk.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true.
It's harsh. You get off, so you have a choice to arrive by Uber. If you would like to walk in, bike in, that's a possibility. We've never done that. Or you can take the shuttle or Uber. Or
you could drive and park in the parking lot.
Yes, I have.
Which we have done that multiple times.
Regardless, if you take an Uber or drive your own car, the walk is significant.
It's almost 2 miles. I mean, it takes you well over 20 minutes to walk from the furthest they'll let you go for drop off for Ubers or the closest part. Even if you get there early and you are in the closest parking lot, I mean, I think you can buy like some super expensive, crazy VIP parking or whatever,
there's that option.
Which just like everything else at Coachella is going to be insanely overpriced. But,
yes, let's also acknowledge the privilege that is Coachella. Like, we understand that it's a very privilegey event with a lot of privilege and a lot of exclusivity and upselling. Like, we're just going to acknowledge that. Have I covered our bases? Okay, now we'll return to our episode.
I'll push back a little on the exclusivity. The upper echelons and like the private events and like all that stuff. Yeah, it's very exclusive, very like, but almost none of that stuff.
But the festival that has tiers too. You got the GA, you got the VIP. I think there's VIP Plus, and then there's the artist band.
Yes, but the point I'm getting at is that if you want to go to Coachella and you can save up $1,500 or $2,000,
which is not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap because you're going to be paying a lot for the Airbnb or your hotel. The cheapest way to do it is to camp. That if you're trying to do it on a budget, just go for the camping. But I mean, yeah, like it's just not. It's not exclusive of anyone, but
the price does.
The price is heavy. So if that's a problem, you gotta at least plan it out or schedule to save it or however you want to do it. I know you guys are all working, you're all making your own money, so you figure out your own budget. But it's not cheap, but anyone can go.
Right. Okay. So yes, anyone can purchase a ticket and attend. So you show up and this walk is a bitch. And so if you park or you take an Uber, it's really far away.
Yeah, it's definitely like a solid 2 miles, and don't know why they don't let you get any closer.
Yeah, but we don't know. But if you take the shuttle, we're gonna knock off about a quarter of that walk.
Yeah, it's like maybe even 33%. It's a significant difference.
But it still is a very long walk. So for the ladies who think because Coachella is a fashionable event, I will give it this. I have worn heels once. It was the last year I went. And I was a veteran, and it was a rookie mistake because of this walk. Literally solely because of the walk. I actually did great in the festival with the shoes, but this walk is what did me in, so just skip the fancy shoes. So, okay, that's the lay of the walk-in. Walk-in security is security. I'm not going to say it's harsh.
They mail it in, usually.
They mail it in. We call it rent-a-cop.
They mail it in.
So, but the lines can get backed up. And sometimes when you're walking, they try to like control the flow of traffic.
I would say they generally do like a better job than a lot of other big festivals. I mean, part of that is all the access space. You're literally in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? It's not like you're trying to get into Ultra in Miami where you're literally in the middle of a city and there's only so many streets. Or like EDC where you all got to funnel in the front of the racetrack to even get in there. This is like you have entrances on every side.
There are a lot of entrance points. Yes. Agreed. And so they do a good job with that. So once you get through, you're through. Each year, the setup is a little bit improved, changed. Stages have gotten a lot bigger, especially from the first year I went. Oh my God, the Sahara tent used to be like this tiny little side EDM tent, and now it's like the second biggest to the main stage, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's second biggest to main stage, but the most people go to Sahara for sure.
Let's talk about the lay of the stages. There's Sahara, which is usually, EDM, rap.
Big names.
The big names.
Mm-hmm.
There's Coachella stage, which is also big headliners, really. And then also other big names will play there too. There's the outdoor stage, kind of like the second smallest to Coachella. Then there's two other tents, Mojave and something.
Yuma, I think.
Yeah, wow, good fucking job. Guys, we're like rusty and we're coming up with this. We didn't prep for this episode at all. And then there's the Do Lab.
The Do Lab, which, if you haven't heard of the Do Lab, you either, one of two things. You either don't like EDM.
Yeah.
One of three things. You don't like EDM, you don't like music festivals, which, fair, or you're living under a fucking rock because, yeah, that shit slaps.
So, yeah, so that's basically, and they are a good distance apart. Each year it does seem to get more and more full at the festival. Like, we've noticed an intake in crowd and, like, clustering. Here's the things to know. Pretty much everybody takes Apple Pay. I would still absolutely bring a credit card, but like
bring some cash too.
Yeah, bring
because
some
what's
cash.
gonna happen is Friday you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be able, your phone's gonna. You might even have service. Apple Pay should work. Mm-hmm. Everything should be mostly working. Your cards will go through. Saturday, shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yes.
Nothing's gonna work. You'll have no service for
true.
5 hours. Apple Pay might not work. Credit card machines could go down because they're connected to the network too. There's only so much bandwidth. And yeah, I mean, so bring some cash.
Also because Friday, a lot of people are working still. So the attendance is just less. Saturday, everybody's fucking going. Sunday, some people have left.
Sunday's bigger than Friday, but
Saturday's
the day.
Saturday is the day in so many ways, which we'll get into. Okay, so that's like literal. Oh, here's another basic thing to know. There's a beer garden. It is 21 and over. I didn't say this, but it's recorded. They're strict. They are strict with fake IDs. It is hard to get a ID check at Coachella. If you have a fake, they're going to be harsh on you. So do what you will with that. They're harsh on ID check, but you're
better off trying to get a bracelet or a wristband from someone
Hunter
else.
said it. I didn't say it.
Yeah, I'll be the degenerate. You're better off trying to get someone either when they're getting a grab too, or use your imagination.
Grab too, but other people can take theirs off and you can have it. Okay, yeah. I don't want to get arrested. Thank you. There's also the Heineken house.
Oh yeah, the Heineken house is pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a DJ going in there. There's kind of air conditioned in there. Oh, and they
sell Heinekens.
They sell
shocker.
Heinekens. Yeah, not Corona. Sponsor us.
Free ad placement.
Thank you so much. So that's pretty much the basic lay of land.
Yeah, especially, inside the festival. Outside the festival, there's really only one more thing to contend with, which is where are you going to stay? And that's actually pretty important because it's not like some super complicated, crazy thing, but it's not as cut and dry as you might think. If you want to do the easiest, cheapest way, you go camping. You either got to have some big stones to camp or, be 23 or younger.
And you just don't care.
Yeah. Younger me could have done it. Now, I'm not so sure.
I love that you owned up to that.
Yeah. I wasn't
never done it. And I actually like camping, but it's a send. It's really hot.
There's no bathrooms. There is, but it's chaos. It's chaos.
But you're right there. So you're cutting out an expensive hotel or Uber or Airbnb, and you just tap in, you go in and out to your campsite. Some people really fuck with it.
We don't
fuck with it. We've never fucked with it.
Also, we usually have friends who are camping and we just go hang out at their campsite.
Oh, that's another great lay of the land thing is to go to somebody's campsite, drink, chill, go back in. You're totally allowed to do that even if you're not staying in the campsite. So that's cool.
But if you aren't camping and you're in an Airbnb or a hotel, get on that shit early because this year, the prices are way more insane on all housing than anyone's ever seen. It makes sense post-COVID, all this inflation bullshit, but it was high before. We booked the place we're staying in June of 2021.
We were literally in Hawaii, and I was like, we have to fucking do
And we got a good place at a pretty decent price.
And it's still overpriced.
But it was still overpriced. And if you wait too long, it's going to be even more overpriced.
And you're going to be far away.
Yes, hotels can work, but they're usually pretty expensive. If you're not camping, you need to either consider having a DD or someone who's going to drive you back and forth. You need to bite the bullet on the Ubers, which it's a disaster.
Just that's something to know.
Leaving with an Uber, not dissimilar to any other festivals. It's just not really going to happen.
One of our first true relationship fights was in the Uber line, leaving Coachella day one.
That is true.
Okay. So, yeah, just avoid it.
Yeah. If you can. The shuttle systems are pretty good.
The shuttle system is good. Even if you can shuttle out to something somewhat closer and call an Uber there, you're better off.
It's going to be much better. The best we did is we had a place about a mile from a shuttle stop, and we shuttled there, and we walked. One day we were too tired because 2 mile walk in, 2 mile walk out, and then, another mile walk home. So we bailed on the last mile walk and called an Uber. But point being, do this if you're not going to camp. Do this stuff early. Look at the shuttle lines. Look where it drops off. You got to know where it's dropping off. You got to know where it is.
Not to mention that the hotels are booked. Like, they're done. It's gonzo. Like, there's nothing available, like, close by. Like, you have to stay in Palm Springs, which is a little bit farther.
Right. And that's honestly not a big deal if you're close to the shuttle stop,
right,
because then you just take the shuttle the whole way and there and back and whatever. But these are all things you need to consider. If you think you're just going to, like, slap together a random hotel and then drive there, I mean, you can, but you might have a bad time.
Right. Like, I stayed at the La Quinta Hotel once, my very first year. It was so close, shuttle in, shuttle out, so nice. Very expensive. Rooms were gone even the December before, and the only way we could get the rooms, like, if we bought the Coachella package, which came with, like, 2 VIP wristbands and the room, and it was, like, really expensive.
Yeah, too pricey on that one.
So you have to be really fucking on it with the housing.
Be a little proactive, and if that's not really your style, then maybe just suck it up and camp.
Yeah, then you'll learn. You'll learn with time. Okay, so let's talk some tips and tricks.
All right, you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. My number one tip would be, well, I said the shoot the thing. Okay. Get a purse that is not easy to be accessible into. Even if you're a little concerned it's complicated and you want to be able to grab your phone quick, you don't want that purse. You do not want that purse. We have both had our phones stolen at Coachella. 2 separate years.
2 years in a row. Zippers and belts for the purses. I know not a lot of guys listen to this, but if you're a guy checking out the Coachella episode...
Hey, that's 17%.
This okay. 1 in 6, not bad. Zippered pockets somewhere, or a button pocket, because your shit will get stolen. They literally have rings of phone thieves. They'll steal anything they can get their hands on that's valuable. So whatever you're carrying, however you have your stuff, make sure it's protected, especially on Saturday, because on Saturday what's going to happen is when the big, one big performance ends, there's usually like 3 big performances going on at once. Not only is it a stampede, but people are crossing, because some people... 2 big acts end. Some people are going to where the first act ended for the next set. And the people who are at the first act are now going to where the second act ended for the next set. So you've got a sea of people just kind of smushing and smashing and trying to get through each other. And trust me, it is very easy to get your phone stolen in that mass.
And like, odds are good you're not sober. Odds are good.
Yeah.
And like, I even had a purse that had a zipper on it. It was like back in the day when that square Michael Kors purse was like really in trend. And well, actually it wasn't in trend anymore. It had been in trend like 2 years before, and I was using it now at Coachella because I didn't. That's another thing. Be prepared for everything to be trashed. Even if you're in the most classy, VIP-ish, whatever, it's dusty, you're walking, it's hot, nothing survives. It had a zipper on it, and I literally had my phone just ripped right out of it. So I now use a purse that kind of like has like, one of the chains has like, you can clip the chain on and off, and I clip it to the zipper because it has a hole on it. And that really keeps it safe. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah,
piggybacking on the everything's going to get destroyed and dirty. It is. It's a big grass field. All of the walking area, everywhere you're walking Coachella, because it's at a polo. Like, if you don't know, it takes place at Empire Polo Club, which is actually a club where they still to this day play polo, and they have like 3 or 4 fields. So you basically just got massive fields. It's all nice. It's all grass for the first, I'm going to go with 2.5 hours or so of the first. And this is also of the first weekend. Like, if you're going weekend, that's another good little tip. If you can, go weekend 1. If you go weekend 2, we'll get into that in a minute. It's just way worse. But yeah, this grass is going to get killed. It's going to turn to dirt. Mm-hmm. Dust is going to be flying everywhere. So wear a bandana. People who go to Coachella were used to the masks before the masks came.
Yep.
Because you want something covering your face. Even without it, even with it, you're still going to get a ton of shit in your nose and in your mouth. And to be honest with you, you're probably going to be kind of sick after, because every year I've been sick after. All my friends live. You get the Coachella flu. Is it a real sickness? No, but you've slept so little. You've had a lot of fun. You guys can have fun however you want. But we're going to assume you're doing it big at Coachella. Mm-hmm. And you've got a ton of dirt in your nose, and your immune system just like, yeah, fuck that. You've also been around 180,000 people in close contact. So you're going to get sick. So do yourself a favor. Wear a mask. Wear a bandana. Wear sunglasses during the day. Do not forget sunglasses. I mean, again,
listen for wind announcements too. Like they'll send an alert if your phone's working and you're lucky. They'll send, hey, there's a wind alert, and like be aware of that, because if you're camping, one of my friends one year had like a tarp that like flew up, totally scraped the top of their their car, and it was so fucking
the year this was before you went. I didn't go, but one of my buddies went. I think this was in 2015. And there was a legit dust storm.
Yeah,
and like
it's the
30.
Same year.
It was the same year.
It was the same year. We were just like, I was there at the same time this happened.
Okay, I thought it was. I thought you. The only reason I thought you weren't was because like literally this guy's tent just like blew away. I mean, it probably wasn't anchored down quite right, but like so. That's not normal, but if you're camping, take care that you're, actually camping properly and storing things properly, because you're in the open desert, winds can whip through there, and it's, while uncommon, stuff can happen.
Yeah, so good purse, good pockets, watch your shit, be aware of the dust, water. Let's talk about water.
Bring a camel back. Or two.
Water reef, this is the one thing Coachella could improve on. EDC, Insomniac, literally provides excellent water systems.
That's because they know everyone's on Molly.
Okay, well, they provide excellent water systems. Coachella has not caught up to the water system.
That's because they don't know everyone's on Molly.
Okay, that's irrelevant. You should be able to provide water.
I agree.
So water bottles are expensive. Often all the vendors have them, sometimes long lines, blah, blah, blah. It's easier to get a beer than it is to get water.
Yes.
There's not a lot of free water refill stations though. So you need
there's
water.
there's basically one per stage.
Yeah.
And my general rule of thumb is when you're walking around, if you ever see a water fill and it's not busy, it's a short line, less than 20 people, just go get some water.
It's your moment.
Just go get some water, because you will inevitably need to get it later, right before you're trying to make it to some big set. And you're going to miss it. Which brings me to another tip. Sorry, do you want to?
No, go ahead.
Brings me to another tip. If you want to see someone big, if it's say Billie Eilish this year or Kanye, and you think you want to get even relatively close,
you need to be 2 sets before.
If you want to be in the front.
Yeah.
So here, I'll give you a quick example. Kendrick Lamar in 2017. Me and 3 of my buddies went 30 minutes early, and we worked our way up, and we got in pretty decently. We were happy with what we got with when we came in. Mm-hmm. Some of my friends from college, 4 of them, actually were front and center, dead front center for his performance, which is obviously absolutely epic. Thing is, they were there for 3 sets, and I'm pretty sure some of them peed in bottles, so they didn't have to leave.
You just have to be prepared for that. So if you're going into a set situation, be prepared that you will not get back. You need to bring water, you need to bring food, you need to bring whatever you need to bring, because you can't leave, and you need to be prepared to pee in a bottle.
Right.
And I can't say I haven't done it.
To be clear, that really only happens for, big artists. You can move around pretty easily, and they redid the Sahara tent where before it was a lengthwise stage. So you'd look at the stage and it would just be your length is narrow and the width is all the way back. Now it's rotated 90 degrees. So the stage is very wide and all the people are spread out very wide. So pretty much any spot in there is good. And again, it's really only for the big artists, but say you want to see Billie Eilish, if you're in a good spot and you're I need to go pee, you are not making it back. No. You can hear the set, but you are not going to be close.
Right. So that's our tips and tricks. Do we have any more to give to the peoples?
Do we have any more? I feel like
here's my tip and trick. This is a big one for people.
Beers and water bottles.
Okay, here's a few tips and tricks that I have. Actually, you've opened a can of worms.
Terrific.
Here's my tips and tricks. For somebody who can get very stressed out at music festivals because they have a strategic plan to see certain artists in certain place, whatnot, if you go with a large group of people, you have to make the choice of, is this a social event or am I here to see artists?
Yeah.
After my second year, have made the choice that Coachella for me is a social event. I'm there to be with my friends, the people I love that are coming, see old friends that I inevitably run into, because if you live in LA, you're fucking there. That's the choice I have made. That's why when people ask me what performer I'm most excited for, I say the Beer Garden, because that's where I can see all my friends. So you have to you have to go into it and make a choice about what's important to you. Mm-hmm. And that brings me to my second
And it's also okay to be clear. I mean, obviously you guys know this too, I'm sure. But like if you have, like in Marley's case, she typically has one or two artists that she's like, I am going. I don't give a fuck. I am going.
I will leave you.
And other than that, and she has in the past, which is fine. I mean, we've both been like, I want to go here. I want to go here. All right, we're going to meet. Oh, there's another tip and trick that comes up. You're not going to have cell service mostly. So if you're separating and you're trying to find someone, pick a meeting spot and a meeting time beforehand. That's a pretty common one for most big music festivals. So it's probably nothing groundbreaking, but you're not going to magically get a text through.
Yeah.
Like
you can't trust that it will come through. And also, I mean, we can say the luxury of like, if I say, hey, meet me at this foot of the butterfly at 1:30 p.m., I know you'll be there and you'll know I'll be there. And if I'm not, something's wrong. Just to clarify, I don't know if everybody has that relationship with all the people in their squad.
Well, that's not even all the people. That's usually just you and me. I mean,
We're reliable.
What I was going to say, actually, before she brought that up is like the last one time, or this, I think it was 2018, we were seeing like Millennium or something. And it was crazy. There was no cell service. We had a plan to meet up with 4 of our other friends at the beer garden nearby. We could see it from where we were sitting. We never saw them. They never showed up there. It turned out that we just missed each other because there's a ton of people. It's very possible. But you know, that was at like 9:30 at night. There was still 2.5 hours of the show left. And not that we didn't have a good time. We had a great time, but the two of us we didn't see anyone else. There was no cell service. We had no planned spots. We had no hope of finding anyone.
You just have to
So you just kind of got to, so at that point, you just got to go with it and have a good time and not worry too much about it. On that note, you know, if you are needing to leave with someone, definitely have a place picked for where you're going to meet for when you're leaving after the show. If it's a free-for-all, then go have some fun.
Yeah, your level, it's a good practice for anybody who struggles with anxiety to go to Coachella because the amount of just let it go you have to deal with is large, and I've greatly improved.
Coachella Fairy.
Coachella Fairy. Okay, let's talk about what not to do.
That's a good one.
I love the what nots to do. What's not to do? Don't making everybody be at the same place at the same time and spend your entire time stressed on your phone trying to meet up with a million people. Like I said, you just have to let it go.
Yeah, she's 100% right on that. It's just not all gonna work. I mean, you know, a group of 4 or 5, maybe that can happen. But if you've got like a big group of people, or like,
we have like 15.
if you're, and
this is a low year for us.
Yeah, I know. So you're not gonna basically just get it through your head early that if you have a big group, you're not gonna be with everyone all the time. Even if everyone magically, which they wouldn't, but even if everyone magically wanted to see the same artists for every single showtime, shit's gonna happen. And like Marley said, you gotta let it go. You can't worry about it. Another don't. I know it's gonna sound. This is specifically for the campers. I know it's gonna seem really fun because campers get in on Thursday night, right? I think you can come in Friday morning. I'm not really sure. Most people come in Thursday.
Do both.
Most people come in Thursday, midday. First of all, get there fucking early.
It's like early. It's even like in the morning on Thursday.
Second of all,
don't be stupid.
Well, if you're bringing stuff, they do check a little harder.
They do at the campsite.
Not that hard. You know, like, I mean, like I've had friends bring in like bongs, right? Like literal pieces of glass. So it's not that hard. But if you're bringing fun stuff, you know, just be smart. Don't be dumb because they will take your tickets. They will throw you out. Yeah. Also, Thursday night, they're going to have events only in the campground. They're going to have like some DJs playing, a silent disco, something fun like that. You should totally go. Have a good time. Don't do drugs. Well, maybe if you're 20, do drugs, but do not overdo it because it is very easy to get to Coachella and be like, hell yeah, this is going to be sick. I'm camping. It's Thursday. Let's go send it. And then you'll wake up Friday dead, but you got to go on Friday. So then you'll be fucked up all Friday. Then you'll wake up Saturday dead. And basically between midday Saturday and Sunday, you're going to start running out of juice and you're not going to be happy. So remember to pace yourself. It's not a sprint. It's literally a marathon, especially for camping. It's literally 4 days. Like you were there for 4 days going about 12 hours a day. You got to remember, you know, it's in the high 80s. So if you fall asleep in your tent, let's say at 2 a.m., you're going to get woken up at 7:30 by the pounding sun and people screaming. And so don't overdo it. Even if you're not camping, don't overdo it the first day, the second day. I mean, just, you should know yourself. I'm imagining most people have gone to other 3-day festivals. If you're a 2-day festival person, just don't blow your load the first day.
Right. Okay, here's my other big don't. This is going to be so telling for me. Do not look up your ideas for your outfits on Pinterest. I fucking love Pinterest. Let's clarify. I love Pinterest, but Pinterest for Coachella outfits, you have to understand, especially at this point, is like almost 3 years out of date. So don't look at that. That stuff's way out of style. Not what you want to wear. Trends have changed. Whatever. Do not Pinterest your outfits. Trust me, my first year, my outfits I fucking hate because they are so literally basic Coachella ideas, and I want to scream at myself for listening to a Pinterest board about Coachella. If you want to find good outfit inspiration, obviously TikTok, that's not anything new. Here's what I do. I'd go look at the girls who went to Ultra and go through their Instagram. I'd literally look through the Ultra Music Festival tag. Other music festivals that have been around you. That's what you should look at. That's what's in season. That's what's in trend. But also understand that Coachella has like literally an anything goes factor.
Definitely anything goes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Vegas. You can do whatever you want.
Shout out to my buddy who, we're not saying names, right?
You can say names.
Yeah. Shout out to my buddy Chris, who literally became a Coachella fashion icon for bringing fruit to the festival as part of his outfit. So you can be lit there doing whatever you want.
I mean, I don't know. I can't quite get on this bandwagon. Don't bring your kids to Coachella. We see this sometimes.
We see it happen. So
there's like literal infants, like toddlers with like the headphones.
The infants,
bring the headphones.
The infants, I don't get at all. The young, like, because it is a fair at the end of the day. It's like presented
there's
as like
no
a
age limit
fair. There's no age limit. Like if you're there earlier, there's fun things to do for kids. I would take a step back from what Marley said. I definitely really wouldn't bring the kids. But if you are bringing the kids, this is not like a 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. event, or like even a 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. event. This is like a 12 p.m. to a 12 p.m. It's like a 2 hour. You've got the first 2 or 3 hours to bring the kids. By 3 or 4 p.m. when it starts getting crazy, I
think it used to be a lot more hippy dippy Silver Lake vibe. And I think like it's been a little commercialized, and that is just gone. So don't bring your kids. Not that anybody who listens to this is like, I'm going to bring my kids to Coachella. But we just have to say it.
But don't, because we'll see them there early in the day, and you're like, okay, whatever. And then, you're fighting through a crowd of people and some mom's holding like a 3-year-old, and you're like, why the fuck are you here?
No, I know. And like, I'm not going to lie. Like, it gets aggressive at some point. People, for the most part, are pretty nice. They're not overly friendly, but like, for the most part, kind. But like, it's a bunch of people, I would say like 16 even, I'm being generous with that, to like 38, 40s, even getting aggressive.
Yeah.
Between the hours, especially of like 2 p.m. to like it's done.
Yeah, like Saturday after 7 p.m., like you're in for it. It's not in a bad way. Like it's going to be really fun, but like this is chaos. This is a ton of people everywhere. It's crowded. Lines are long. So keep that in mind if you're going to bring your kids, which you shouldn't. Yeah.
I don't know who we're harping on it so hard. Like who's bringing their kid that we know. Favorite acts.
Ooh, favorite acts. That's a good one. All right, Marley, I want you to go first. What is your favorite all-time Coachella act?
Oh, God, that's really hard.
Do you want me to go then?
Yeah, you go.
Because I have one.
Go ahead.
I mentioned it sort of earlier.
Oh, you're going to say Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar in 2017. I mean, listen, he dropped Damn 10 days before, 5 days before, whatever, maybe even less, 3 days before.
I think it was like 3 days.
It was literally like 3 days because we were listening to the album on the way to Coachella and we were like, oh, shit, this is a banger. And my goodness, like I said, like I had some buddies from college who were literally front and center. They waited 2.5 hours there to make it happen. We got up pretty close. Everything about it was amazing. That's the one thing I will say about Coachella that we really didn't talk about earlier. The production value, it's like EDC levels, right? Like it's just insane. All the stages. Been to EDC. What?
You've never been to EDC?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Are you serious?
Oh, fuck. We met at EDC, guys.
All right, so we're gonna end this episode now. I'm gonna break up with Marley real quick.
Don't do that. Look, you have not been.
Yeah, I have been. But the production value, all joking aside, the production value is very high. You're going to have a good show at the big tents for the big acts. And everything was amazing. The album was amazing. He brought out Drake. He brought out Future. It was insane.
Okay, I have 2 favorite acts. One was the year before we started dating. It was just me and one of my good friends, Freygang, watching Flume play, like, closing night, literally, like, last couple minutes, hours of Coachella. And it was, like, literally just such a great experience. The music was just it was so vibey, but also relaxing. Like, we'd had a great weekend. It just, like, I was in all the feels. And then even after that, like, you know, me and Reagan, like, ran around, like, wanting to stay at Coachella and just, like, having fun, like, climbing the treehouse. And it was, like, just a really, like, sweet moment in time for me. So that's one of my favorites. The other one that's so funny is...
YG?
Oh, fuck. I could tell that story really quickly.
All right.
Let me tell the other story, though. So, day 2 of the second year we were dating or first year we were dating... You get your phone stolen.
Second, first year we were dating.
First year we were dating. I wanted to see Murray Masa so fucking bad. I was gonna die on this hill. I was like, I need to see Murray Masa. I need to see him. Everyone was giving me shit about it in the group. They were like, this is lame. It's overcrowded. Whatever. And
I wasn't giving you that much shit. Do you remember why? Continue.
Why? Okay. Why did you not give me shit? Let's go. Let's get into it.
Oh, because I knew that someone might be popping out on stage.
But you were not sure.
No, I wasn't.
Hunter gets his phone stolen. He's bugging for a second. You handled it like a champ, though. You bugged, and then you were like,
I tweaked for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then when I accepted the shit's gone, I'm not getting it back.
You were cool.
It's over. Like,
Yeah.
just deal with it.
It was like you and your friend, me,
Roland, your cousin.
Yes. And I was just like, guys, like, I'm not kidding. Like, we have to fucking stay here. And ASAP came out.
Yeah, A$AP Rocky came out to do Lovesick, and
it was pretty
It was
fucking
pretty.
epic.
It was pretty epic. Yeah. It was,
And I've never
It was
seen,
super epic.
I've literally never seen a artist just look more like in his fucking element than that moment.
R.I.P. Old Rocky. You're
Yeah.
very missed.
So that was great. And then another favorite moment is the same day, my cousin, who I'm now really close with and was really close with when I was younger, it's just us and him and this one friend. Hunter's lost his phone. Who were we at that Drake came out?
Future.
Oh my God, yeah, it's Future. And I didn't think I knew any fucking Future songs. Turned out I knew all of them.
That's actually the secret. If you think, here, a little tidbit for you guys. If you think you don't know any Future songs, go to Apple Music or Spotify, play his top 25 songs, guarantee you know like 15 of them.
And
Guaranteed.
then Drake came out, and I just lost it. And also it felt like we were in a sponge, and then someone squeezed out all the water, and also everybody was just like so much tighter.
Yeah, the crowd pushed forward. It was a little...
It was cool though.
It was pre-Astro World. So.
But we were like in it. We were in a scare. I never felt scared.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't scary. No one. No, it was.
Scary.
It wasn't a bad crowd push. It definitely wasn't a bad crowd push.
Everybody's like, "Oh, Drake's on stage." Like,
well, and this is another good thing about Coachella that we kind of mentioned. There's so much space.
So much space.
Even though it's crowded and it's cramped and it's hard to get places, you're never like trapped. There's still space. You're never gonna get sardined or squished, or maybe if you're at the very front of like the main stages, yeah. But like, what front of a main stage at any festival do you not get squished at? You know?
Yeah. What about you?
Favorite act?
Favorite act, favorite story.
I said favorite act. I did think of a story though.
Okay, go.
While we're talking. Okay, so it was 2018, I want to say, Saturday. We got in a little late, not that late. It was maybe like 4 o'clock. And it was crazy already. There was just a ton of people there. And the problem with that time is there's like fringe artists and like, you know, not fringe artists, but like artists that subsets like not as super popular, but are still pretty popular. But there's still a lot of people in at that time. Mm-hmm. And what are those people doing? They're looking at the art. They're getting food. So trying to do anything.
Side note really quickly, the food at Coachella is incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
Good quality.
Do yourself a favor and get some. Hopefully they bring the spicy pizza back. That was the best.
Dude, there's vegan mac and cheese like fucking everywhere. Continue.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of lost my place.
We came in, it was crowded. I know where you're going.
Yeah. So there was nothing you could do. Like everyone, like because people aren't all at music sets, they're doing all the other stuff. The beer gardens are fucked. The lines are fucked. Everything's just kind of fucked. So we roll up. Service is still kind of working. So we text some of my friends. We're like, what are you guys doing? That they'd been there like 30 minutes before. Like, what's the move? We don't want to see anyone for 2 hours. What should we do? And my buddy's like, why don't you come over here? You know, like we got a nice beer. So we got a bunch of beer. We got a nice setup.
You got it going on.
Yeah, we got it going on. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean? Like, I'm looking at the line of the beer garden. That's at least 45 minutes. And he's like, you should look more to your right. And there, just 40 feet away from the beer garden, waving at me is my friend with a 12-pack of Coors Light and a broken umbrella that he found somewhere.
Yes.
Do I know how he got the Coors Light in?
No.
Absolutely not. I mean, this kid's a wizard, so it's not that surprising. But at the end of the day, we all sat around without, on the grass with this little umbrella, drinking Coors Lights. And I'm sure we got a couple funny looks, like where the fuck did those come from? But that was just like a good, wholesome, low-key story. It's like, what are we going to do? Oh, well, my buddy somehow brought 12 Coors Lights in. Like, good for you. I guess I'll drink that.
God, I've had some great times. I mean, I could talk about stories forever, but we'll save you that because we know it's kind of boring.
Go create your own stories.
Go create your own stories. It's boring to hear our stories, so go create them. All right. We're going to end on my fucking favorite note. Go ahead.
I thought you were going to give a story real quick.
Oh, you want me to give a story really quick? I'll give a story really quick. It's so funny. He's not going to listen to this. I had a friend in high school and middle school. We were good friends in middle school. Then we weren't friends. Then we were good friends in high school. And then we weren't good friends again. And then in college, for some reason, we just kind of became close again. And he texted me he's going to Coachella. And I don't know, we just really fucking sent it. That whole first day, I ended up ditching, not ditching, I couldn't find them. So I was like, this is who I'm stuck with. Like, I'm with my one friend from high school who I'm like, have had a tumultuous relationship with.
Wasn't his brother there? Yeah,
his brother's there too, who I'd known like growing up since I was like in 6th grade.
So it wasn't,
Yeah, it's like a safe environment. I'm not worried about it. And, we just had a great day, like just running around. He didn't care that I was being way more crazy than everybody else. And like, it was super fun. And I also got to meet a lot of people that like later in my life kind of became to be good friends. But we saw Ellie Goulding that day, who is, I think, an incredible singer.
She got a good voice.
Her voice is so good. This was also the one year I went weekend too, and unfortunately, I think the week before Prince had passed away.
Right.
It was heartbreaking. And I wasn't a huge Prince fan, but iconic, right? And Ellie Goulding, which she didn't do the weekend before, obviously, stopped her set and sang this like love ballady version of When Doves Cry, and it was so beautiful. Like, I don't think I'll ever forget that. And I was just like, wow, here I am with this like friend who I've had this relationship with, and like now we're good friends again, and it's great. And like, what a special moment to like honor literally an icon. And she performed it so well. She killed it. I mean, look it up on YouTube. Ellie Goulding, When Doves Cry. It's so fucking good. It's incredible. So that's one of my literal like favorites.
Quick sidebar, because I realized we sort of touched on it before then stopped. I had said try to go weekend 1, don't go weekend 2. In theory, there's nothing wrong with going weekend 2. Typically, the guests are better weekend 1.
The surprise guests.
The surprise guests, yes.
Let's
there's always,
clarify,
which we actually didn't say anything about
touch on that at all.
I don't know how we kind of missed that one, but we're getting it in now. Yeah. There's always surprise guests. I mean, we kind of said like we were watching Future and then Drake came out, and then I earlier said that Drake came out when we were watching Kendrick. I meant to say Future came out when we were watching Kendrick.
Right.
But so they always have surprise guests like that. ASAP Rocky came out when we were watching Muramasa. Those types of guests.
Rihanna came out once.
Yeah, there you go.
Big deal.
Especially for Marley. Rihanna's her queen.
Huge deal.
Those guests are usually, the better guests usually come weekend 1. But
the press
not always.
Is bigger at weekend 1.
Yeah,
that's why.
And there's more it's more of a show weekend 1. Mm-hmm. So weekend 2, while there's less people, it's a little less crazy. The guests aren't as good most of the time, not always. I remember one year it was flipped where the guests were better the second year. Yeah. Well, that was the year that Kanye's Sunday service was the second week, because that was on Easter.
People came out
so a lot of people went, and that wasn't even part of that was its own thing, which was really cool. But
we didn't see it.
No, we weren't there. But the main thing about weekend 2 that is tough is that entire field. That shit is torn up, like I said.
Dust.
So all the dust, all the sickness, all the shitty feelings, stuff in your eyes, stuff in your nose, that is magnified. Not that it doesn't happen week 1, it certainly does. Most of Friday you get through pretty decent. Half of Saturday night it's kind of a shit show. Sunday's bad, and then the weekend after is fucking bad because
it's already starting at a bad place.
And it's just sat there for a week.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, my final note that we want to touch on. Our favorite?
Okay.
Outfits.
Okay.
Let's be clear. My favorite. Your probably least favorite?
I mean, that's a little fun. I just find something and throw it on. But these last
That's
times...
not true.
Well, you help me now. You help me now.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Before I just threw my shit together.
Here, let me throw my quick tips and tricks for the girls here. I already told the thing about looking at other festivals for inspiration. Don't look at Pinterest because it's out of date. Do not Google Coachella outfits. You'll get nowhere. Tips and tricks. Comfortable shoes. Definitely going to get destroyed. I do recommend like a little booty, a little bit higher, so less dirt creeps into your socks. At the same time, Hunter's sister is a big fan of not wearing shoes at Coachella.
Yeah, it is also very, very acceptable to just fucking go barefoot the whole day. Yeah. I've never done it. I don't necessarily recommend it. There's shit around, but you know, the ground's soft everywhere and you might get stomped on, and there's no glass really except inside the beer garden, so you're not gonna like.
There's not even glass really there, I don't think.
Don't they give you the maybe? No, yeah, they're right. So there's really no glass, but you know, I'm not that type of a wild person, but if you don't want shoes, you don't need them. You don't need them. So, but I do recommend a little extra coverage in the ankle area if that's, you know, I find it covered. I think I wore Converse the first year. Don't recommend they're flat or Docs, but that's the idea. Protect the ankle. We want less dirt in the shoe. Like I said, no heels or avoid heels, low heel, because that 2 mile walk in, 2 mile walk out. And you're going to, for clarity, you're going to be taking about 20,000 steps within the festival outside of those 2 walks. This sounds really obvious, but it has to be said. Coachella is a bougie event. However, you have to expect that you will come out of the festival with everything destroyed or broken or stolen. So this is not the moment to bring the Gucci sunglasses. This is the moment to bring the really trendy sunglasses you bought at Forever 21 or whatever. And if you lose them, you lose them, whatever. I'd bring multiple pairs of sunglasses. I would bring 3 outfits one for each day with an alt and maybe like pieces as a backup if you need to change it. What else? Sunscreen, sunglasses, bandana. It's hot. It gets cold at night. Shawls are great. It can, yeah. If you're, you know, want a souvenir, as I always fucking do, be prepared to spend $60 on a merch sweater that you can bring in and out of the festival. So what are your other on outfits? You kind of went to tips and tricks. What about outfits? Don't look at Pinterest. Don't look at Google Pinterest. Coachella outfits. Yeah, no. One thing you could do is try and see like the best outfits of Coachella year X. Yes. Now, most of that stuff, if I'm right, is a little out of date. It's going to be a little out of date, but that can give you some like, here's how people tend to dress. So take that and like flip it to whatever's new. Here's the vibe that I'm feeling specifically for this year that I'm sensing. It's going to be a little bit of a chiller vibe. We're wearing like cool casual streetwear with a little like elevated style. So we're talking high accessories, extensions, clips, sunglasses. Like I think that's going to be really loud, but I think outfits are going to be really calm. You know, we'll see if she's right. We'll see if I'm right. But yeah, I kind of get this like cool girl. It should be, and this is an important distinction I actually heard on TikTok. Coachella is not a place to wear a costume. It is a place to wear your elevated style. So we don't need like the full-blown rave outfit. We need your biggest chances, biggest risks, your style outfit. But anything does fit, and Marley, you can stop me if I'm wrong on the girls' side, but like you'll see girls running around in a pair of jean shorts and a tank top and combat boots. That's what I'm saying. And they look good, but it's not like some crazy fashion thing. Right. I've worn them all. I've worn the long ass skirt. I've worn the shawls. I've worn the once upon a time famous Coachella hat, the flower crown. I've done it all. But seriously, be aware of the heat. Be aware it's going to get cold. Drink water. Drink water. Here's my fun tip for if you're trying to dress a boyfriend or if you're a guy and you're just trying to dress well for it. You really need 3 lightweight, cool shirts. That's really all they fucking need. And a pair of comfortable shorts. There's not much more to do there. I mean, I couldn't get you to layer if I fucking tried. So. I'd be too hot. I'm not wearing layers. So let's just not stress it. Like, I've already picked 2 of your shirts this year. Yeah, I know. That one is really cool. Wait, I like them both, so I know. Well, I like the one specifically. Okay, whatever. So my point is, keep it simple on the guys. Look for, you know, we want a trippy, cool vibe, but honestly, the aesthetic for men, if they're, you know, not trying to be loud or crazy or whatever, is just keep it simple and don't stress it and let everybody just be comfortable. Hawaiian shirts are good. Hawaiian shirts are good. That's kind of like, remember there's a lot of color involved on both ends. Like, color is the moment. However, you'll probably catch me wearing all black, but that's fine. That's just a Marley thing. That's my style. It's my elevated style. Any last thoughts for the Coachella listeners? If anyone out there is planning to go this year, cancel your plans and don't go so that there can be less people. No, I'm just kidding.
So we can have more space.
We're fucking with you. Yeah. No, honestly, everyone should go to Coachella once, in my opinion. It is really fun. I'm sure this episode will get some hate too, just based on the fact of like, oh, they love Coachella. That's this influencer. It is all those things that everyone bitches about.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You just got to go because I guarantee you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's literally like my Christmas. So
That's not true. You love Christmas.
That's not true. I love Halloween. Let's clarify.
Okay, that's fair.
I was like, I do not make a big deal out of Christmas at all.
But it is a good event, you know.
It's a great event. It's a great time to, get a group. It's a great place to have a group of people that you want to spend time with floating around. And inevitably you do run into people you haven't seen in a while if you're from LA or, just really take that time to literally let loose, have fun, and enjoy the beauty. Basic as fuck, but that's the truth.
If you're a brave soul on a solo mish, you will find people to pick you up. You will absolutely find a crew. So don't worry about that. If you're going as one person or maybe it's just 2 or 3 and you're like, well, shit, I want to run into more people. You will.
Yeah.
You will.
So that being said, I think that pretty much wraps up like our Coachella 101.
Coachella 101. Tune in next year for Coachella 201.
I was going to call it intermediate level. 1 year we'll get to advanced.
That's what 201 means.
All right, fuck off. All right, goodbye, guys. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.